I need you to see something. Those were the 6 words Emily said to Clara on Christmas Eve, before handing her a tablet. Clara pressed play. And what she saw on that screen didn't just end her marriage. It ended the life of the man she thought she knew. Because for 3 years, 16-year-old Emily had been secretly recording her stepfather Derek. Every conversation, every threat, every moment of control. And when Clara watched that footage, all 47 hours of it, she realized the troubled teenager everyone talked about wasn't troubled at all. She was building a case so airtight, so devastating, so undeniable, that when the police finally saw it, they didn't just arrest Derek. They started investigating him for crimes Clara never imagined possible. This is the story of how one hidden camera, one brave girl, and one Christmas Eve confrontation exposed a secret so twisted that even the detectives said they'd never seen anything like it. And here's what nobody saw coming. Derek wasn't just keeping Emily from her real father. He was getting paid to do it. By someone Clara never suspected. Asterisk, dramatic pause, asterisk. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Because what you're about to hear, it gets so much worse before it gets better. Let me take you back to where it started. Clara Morgan was 38 years old when her world collapsed. But 5 years earlier, when she first met Derek in Wichita Falls, Texas, she thought she'd finally found her person. She'd been single for 3 years after a divorce that left her questioning everything. Working 60-hour weeks as a medical billing specialist. Living in a studio apartment. Eating dinner alone most nights. Then came Derek, 41, stable. A regional manager at an industrial supply company, and a single father. His daughter Emily was 11 when Clara met her. Quiet. Polite to the point of invisible. Her mother died when she was 6, Derek explained on their 3rd date. Cancer. It destroyed her. Emily's never really recovered. She acts out. Lies. Steals. I'm doing my best, but raising a daughter alone? It's harder than people think. Clara's heart broke for both of them. What she didn't know, what she couldn't have known, was that she was being recruited. Not as a wife. As a witness. Someone who could testify that Derek was a good father. A stable provider. A man doing his best with a difficult child. Someone who could make the lie look real. When they married, Clara moved into Derek's 3-bedroom home. Clean, organized, almost aggressively normal. Except for Emily's room. The door had no inside lock. Derek had removed it years ago. She used to barricade herself in there, he explained. I need to be able to check on her, for her safety. Red flag number 1. Clara ignored it. Emily had a strict curfew. 5:30 p.m. on weekdays, 6 p.m. on weekends. She's proven she can't be trusted with freedom. Red flag number 2. Derek monitored Emily's phone obsessively. Every text, every search, every app. Teenagers need boundaries. Red flag number 3. Emily wasn't allowed to have friends over, wasn't allowed at sleepovers, wasn't allowed to go to school dances or football games. Not until she earns it. Red flags 4, 5, 6, 7. But here's what Clara told herself. Asterisk. It's just strict parenting. He loves his daughter. He's protecting her. Asterisk. What she didn't see, what Derek made sure she couldn't see, was that Emily wasn't being protected. She was being isolated. Systematically, deliberately, perfectly. Because if Emily had no friends, no privacy, no freedom, she'd have no one to tell. And there was something Derek desperately needed to keep hidden. But Emily was smarter than he realized. At 13 years old, 2 years before Clara entered the picture, Emily had started noticing things. The way Derek's stories about her mother never quite lined up. The way he panicked whenever she asked about her mom's family. The way he'd intercept the mail before she could see it. So Emily started looking. And what she found changed everything. An old shoebox in the attic, hidden behind Christmas decorations. Inside, dozens of unopened birthday cards, letters, all addressed to her, all from someone named Michael Hendricks, all postmarked over the span of 10 years. Her father, her real time's father, the man Derek told her didn't want her. The man who supposedly abandoned her mother. The man who was dangerous. But if he was so dangerous, so disinterested, why was he sending cards every single year? Emily opened one. Asterisk, happy 8th birthday, sweetheart. I think about you every single day. I hope someday I'll get to meet you. I love you, Dad. Asterisk. She opened another. Asterisk, Emily, I'm still fighting for you. The courts won't let me see you yet. But I promise, I'm not giving up. You are loved, Dad. Asterisk. And another. Asterisk, age 12. Wow. I bet you're beautiful. I bet you're smart. I bet you're kind. Because your mother was all those things. Please know that I never stopped wanting you in my life. Dad. Asterisk. Emily sat in that attic for 3 hours, reading every card, every letter. And she realized everything Derek told her was a lie. But she was 13. Who would believe her? So she started gathering proof. She saved her babysitting money for 6 months and bought a tiny spy camera off Amazon. The kind that looks like a pen. She hid it in her bookshelf, angled toward the door, and she waited. It didn't take long. The first recording Emily captured was mundane. Derek checked her room while she was at school, opening drawers, reading her diary, checking under her mattress. Not for drugs or contraband. Just checking, making sure she wasn't hiding anything about him. Asterisk. The second recording was worse. Emily came home 10 minutes late from school. Her bus had broken down. She tried explaining. Derek didn't care. You're lying. You were meeting someone. Nobody. The bus. Empty your backpack. She did. Empty your pockets. She did. Strip. Emily's voice on the recording was so small. What? You heard me. I need to make sure you're not hiding anything. Dad, please. Now. There was a long silence on the recording. Then the sound of a door closing. Emily was 14 when that was recorded. The third recording made Clara vomit when she finally saw it. Emily had asked Derek if she could attend her school's winter formal. His response, "You think you deserve that? After everything you've put me through? After your mother died because of you? Mom died of cancer. She got sick because of the stress of raising you. You killed her. And now you want to go dance? You're disgusting." Emily didn't argue. She just said, "Yes, sir, I'm sorry." There were 47 hours of recordings like this. 47 hours of psychological abuse, control, gaslighting, threats, isolation, manipulation. And through it all, Emily never fought back. She just collected evidence. But here's what even Emily didn't know. There was a reason Derek was so desperate to control her. A reason he kept her isolated. A reason he monitored her every move. Because Derek had a secret. And if Emily ever found out the truth, the entire house of cards would collapse. December 24th. Emily was 16 now. She'd been recording for 3 years. She'd upgraded her equipment, a better hidden camera, a cloud backup system Derek couldn't trace. She had everything she needed. But she didn't know when to use it. Then Derek made the decision for her. Emily volunteered at the church soup kitchen that day. Christmas Eve service for those in need. She was supposed to be home by 5 p.m. At 5:30, she still wasn't there. Derek was unraveling, pacing, checking his phone, muttering to himself. Clara noticed. She's probably just helping clean up. She knows the rules. At 6:10 p.m., Emily walked through the door. Her sweater was stained. Her face was flushed from the cold. She looked exhausted. "I'm so sorry I'm late. We had twice as many people show up, and I stayed to help." Derek grabbed her arm. "Where were you?" "At the church. I called the church. Pastor Jean said the event ended at 4:30. So where the hell were you for 90 minutes? Emily's face went white. Because she had been somewhere else. She'd walked to the public library, used their computer, searched for Michael Hendricks, found his phone number, almost called him, but she chickened out at the last second. I was walking, she said quietly. I needed to think. About what? About my life. What about your life? Emily looked at Clara, then back at Derek, and something shifted in her eyes. About why you're so afraid of me leaving. Derek went still. What did you say? You heard me. Clara had never heard Emily speak to Derek like that. Emily, apologize to your father, Clara started. He's not my father. Silence. What? Clara whispered. Emily turned to her. He's not my biological father. My real father's name is Michael Hendricks. He lives in Oklahoma City, and Derek has been keeping me from him for 10 years. Clara's world tilted. Derek's face turned red, then purple. You ungrateful little. I found the letters. All of them. The ones you hid in the attic. Those letters are lies. And I found the bank statements. Derek froze. What bank statements? Emily pulled out her phone. The ones showing my father have been paying you $1,500 a month in child support since I was 2. $18,000 a year. For 14 years. Clara did the math in her head. $252,000. $250,000. That money was for my care. Derek said carefully. For your food? Your clothes? Then why is it going into an account with only your name on it? Why did you use it to buy that truck last year? Why did you use it for the down payment on this house? Clara felt like she was watching a stranger. This wasn't the quiet, compliant Emily she knew. This was someone who'd been preparing for this moment for years. You stole from me, Emily said. For 14 years. And you made me think my own father didn't want me. Derek's mask finally cracked. That money was mine. I raised you. I fed you. I put a roof over your head when your mother died. And he did nothing. He tried. The court records show he filed for visitation 6 times. And I stopped him. Because he didn't deserve you. That wasn't your choice to make. Derek lunged at Emily. Clara screamed. But Derek didn't hit her. He grabbed Emily's phone. What else is on here? Who have you been talking to? He started scrolling through it frantically. Emily's expression didn't change. That's not my real phone. Derek looked up. What? That's the phone you monitor. The one I knew you'd check. The one with nothing on it. She reached into her backpack and pulled out a second phone. This is my real phone. The one I bought with my own money. The one you don't know about. Give it to me? No. Give it to me. Make me. And then Emily did something that changed everything. She pressed a button on the phone. And suddenly, a voice filled the room. Derek's voice. Coming from the phone's speaker. A recording. Asterisk. You're disgusting. You killed your mother. You don't deserve anything. Asterisk. Derek's face went white. Emily pressed another button. Another recording. Asterisk. Strip. I need to make sure you're not hiding anything. Asterisk. Another. Asterisk. That money is mine. I earned it by dealing with you. Asterisk. Another. Asterisk. If you ever try to contact him, I'll make sure you regret it. Asterisk. Emily looked at Derek with eyes that were no longer afraid. I recorded everything. For 3 years. Every threat. Every lie. Every time you checked my room, monitored my phone, made me feel like I was crazy. She turned to Clara. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. But I need you to know. I'm not the troubled one. I never was. Clara's hands were shaking. Derek moved toward Emily. Delete those recordings. Now. They're already uploaded. Cloud storage. I gave my password to someone I trust. Who? Emily smiled small, but real. My father. Michael Hendricks. I finally called him today. And I told him everything. Derek's face twisted into something Clara had never seen before. Pure rage. And underneath it, terror. You stupid little. He grabbed Emily by the shoulders. And Clara finally moved. She shoved Derek away from Emily with strength she didn't know she had. Don't you dare touch her. Derek stumbled back, shocked. Clara turned to Emily. Do you have somewhere safe to go? Emily nodded. Pastor Jean. I already called him. He's on his way. As if on cue, headlights appeared in the driveway. But it wasn't Pastor Jean. It was a police car. Clara's stomach dropped. Emily looked relieved. I called them too, she said quietly. Right before I came home. I told them I had evidence of fraud and abuse, and that I was afraid of what would happen when I confronted him. Derek backed toward the hallway. You little bitch. The doorbell rang. Clara opened it. Officer Daniels stood on the porch, calm, professional, ready. Behind him, another officer. Ma'am, we received a call from Emily Morgan about a domestic situation and allegations of financial fraud. Yes, Clara said. Please come in. And as the officers entered, Emily pulled out her tablet. I have everything you need right here. What happened in the next 6 hours changed everything. Emily sat in an interview room at the Wichita Falls Police Department with a female detective named Sarah Chen and a child advocate. Clara sat in a separate room, giving her statement. And Derek sat in interrogation, lawyer by his side, refusing to speak. But he didn't need to speak, because Emily's recordings did all the talking. Detective Chen started with the basics. Emily, can you tell me when you first became aware that Derek Morgan was not your biological father? I always knew. My mom told me when I was 5. She said my real dad's name was Michael, that he loved me, that he wanted to see me. And when did that story change? After my mom died. Derek started saying Michael was dangerous, that he didn't want me, that he abandoned us. Did you believe him? I was 6. I didn't have a choice. When did you start questioning it? When I was 13. I found letters from Michael in the attic. Birthday cards he'd been sending for years. Derek never gave them to me. What did you do? I started looking for more. And I found bank statements showing deposits from Michael Hendricks, $1,500 every month. Going back years. Detective Chen pulled up a document on her laptop. We've subpoenaed those bank records. Can you confirm this is the account you're referring to? Emily looked. Yes. And this account is solely in Derek Morgan's name? You have no access to it? I didn't even know it existed until 2 months ago. How did you find out about it? Emily hesitated. I stole Derek's laptop password. I went through his files while he was at work. You hacked his computer? I had to. He wasn't going to tell me the truth. Detective Chen leaned back. Emily, I need you to understand something. What you did, accessing his computer without permission, that's technically illegal. Emily's face didn't change. I know. But what he did was worse. Tell me about the recordings. Emily pulled out her tablet. I started recording 3 years ago. At first, it was just audio. Then, I bought a spy camera. I hid it in my bookshelf. Did Derek know you were recording? No. Why did you start recording? Because I knew no one would believe me without proof. Everyone thinks Derek is this amazing single dad. I needed evidence. Evidence of what? That I wasn't the problem. He was. Detective Chen pressed play on the first recording. Derek's voice filled the room. Asterisk, you killed your mother. She got sick because of you. Asterisk. Chen paused it. How old were you when he said this? 14. How did it make you feel? Like I wanted to die. Chen's expression softened. Did you ever try to harm yourself, Emily? Long pause. Twice. I took pills both times. Not enough to kill me. Just enough to sleep and not feel anything for a while. Did anyone know? No. I threw up before anything happened. Derek never noticed. Chen made a note. They went through 47 hours of recordings over the next 4 hours. Each one is worse than the last. And with each recording, Detective Chen's expression grew darker. Emily, I need to ask you something. And I need you to be completely honest with me. Okay. Did Derek ever touch you inappropriately? No. Never. He wasn't. Like that. Are you sure? I'm sure. The control was psychological, not physical. Chen nodded slowly. That's actually unusual. In cases like this, there's often a sexual component. I know what you're thinking, Emily said quietly. And I wondered that too. Why go through all this trouble to control me if he wasn't? You know. What conclusion did you come to? Emily looked directly at the camera in the corner of the room, the one recording this interview. I think he made a deal with someone, and I was part of that deal. Detective Chen went very still. What kind of deal? I don't know yet. But there's money involved. More than just the child support. I found wire transfers in Derek's account. Big ones. $50,000. Twice a year. Always from the same account number. Did you trace the account? I tried. But I couldn't get past the bank's security. Chen was already typing on her laptop. Give me the account number. Emily pulled out a piece of paper. She'd come prepared. Chen ran the number through the police database. Her eyes widened. Oh my God. What? Emily asked. Chen looked at her. Emily, the account belongs to Michael Hendricks. Emily's face went blank. What? The wire transfers. $50,000, twice a year, for the past 5 years. They're coming from your biological father. That doesn't make sense. Why would he pay Derek even more money? Detective Chen was already on her phone. I don't know. But we're about to find out. She called the number Emily had found earlier that day. The one Emily had almost called, but couldn't. Michael Hendricks' number. It rang 3 times. Then, hello? Mr. Hendricks. This is Detective Sarah Chen with the Wichita Falls Police Department. I'm sitting here with your daughter, Emily Morgan. We need to talk. There was a long silence on the other end. Then, quietly, is she okay? She's safe. But I need you to answer some questions about Derek Morgan. What about him? We have bank records showing you've been sending him $100,000 a year for the past 5 years. Over and above the child support. Why? Another silence. Then, I need to speak to my lawyer before. Mr. Hendricks, I'm not accusing you of anything. But your daughter deserves to know the truth. And right now, she's sitting across from me, trying to figure out why her biological father has been paying the man who kept her prisoner. Emily heard her father's voice break through the speaker. He said, if I didn't pay, he'd disappear with her. He said he'd move somewhere, I'd never find them. He said he'd change her name, pull her out of school, and I'd never see her again. Emily's breath caught. So you paid him, Chen said. Every 6 months. For 5 years. I didn't know what else to do. The courts wouldn't give me visitation. He had full custody, even though he's not her biological father. My lawyer said if I pushed too hard, Derek could make her vanish. So I paid. Why didn't you go to the police? With what evidence? He never put the arrangement in writing. It was all phone calls. He knew exactly what he was doing. Chen looked at Emily. Did you know about this? Emily shook her head, tears streaming down her face. I thought he didn't want me. All this time, I thought he just sent cards but never actually fought for me. Emily, Michael's voice came through the speaker. I never stopped fighting. Not for a single day. I couldn't risk him taking you somewhere. I couldn't follow. Emily couldn't speak. Chen took over. Mr. Hendricks, I need you to come to Wichita Falls. Tonight, if possible. And I need you to bring every document, every recording, every piece of evidence you have of Derek's extortion. I'm already in my car. I left Oklahoma City the moment Emily called me this afternoon. I'm about an hour away. You're coming here? I've been waiting 16 years to meet my daughter. Nothing is stopping me now. An hour and 12 minutes later, Michael Hendricks walked into the Wichita Falls Police Department. He was tall, glasses, graying hair, kind eyes. He looked exactly like the photos Emily had found online. Detective Chen brought him into the interview room. Emily stood up. Father and daughter looked at each other for the first time in 10 years. Michael's voice broke. Hi, sweetheart. Emily couldn't hold it together anymore. She collapsed into his arms and sobbed. Clara watched through the one-way glass, tears streaming down her own face. And in that moment, she understood the full scope of what Derek had done. He hadn't just kept Emily from her father. He'd blackmailed Michael for $500,000 while telling Emily her father didn't want her. He'd psychologically tortured a child for a decade. And he'd done it all while playing the role of devoted single dad. But here's what nobody realized yet. There was still one more secret, one more twist, one more piece that would turn everything on its head. While Emily and Michael talked, Detective Chen pulled Clara into a private office. Mrs. Morgan, I need to ask you something. Anything. How much do you know about your husband's finances? Just the basics. We have separate accounts. He handles his money. I handle mine. Have you ever seen large deposits you couldn't explain? Clara thought back. Actually, yes. About a year ago, he suddenly paid off our mortgage. He said he got a bonus at work. $25,000. Chen made a note. Did he show you proof of this bonus? No. I just believed him. What about other large purchases? He bought a new truck 2 years ago. Cash. Said he'd been saving. How much was the truck? $40,000. Chen pulled up something on her computer. Mrs. Morgan, I've been going through Derek's bank records with our financial crimes unit. In the past 5 years, over $600,000 has moved through his accounts. Clara felt dizzy. $600,000? His salary is $75,000 a year. Even with child support from Michael, the math doesn't add up. Where is it coming from? Chen turned the monitor toward Clara. That's what we're trying to figure out. But look at this. She pointed to a series of transactions. Every time Michael deposits $50,000, Derek keeps about $20,000 and transfers the rest to this account. Clara looked at the account number. Her blood ran cold. That's an offshore account. How do you know? The routing number. I work in medical billing. I process international payments sometimes. Chen leaned forward. Mrs. Morgan, do you have any idea who might have access to an offshore account connected to your husband? Clara's mind raced. Then it hit her. Oh my God. What? Rebecca, Emily's mother. Chen frowned. Rebecca died 11 years ago. Did she? Chen went very still. What are you saying? Clara stood up, pacing now. Derek told me Rebecca died of cancer when Emily was 6. But now that I think about it, he never showed me a death certificate. Never took me to her grave. Never talked about her family. You think she's alive? I think we need to find out. 20 minutes later, Detective Chen had an answer. She walked into the room where Clara was waiting. Her face was ashen. Rebecca Morgan didn't die in Wichita Falls. In fact, there's no death certificate for her anywhere in Texas. So, she's alive? I ran her social security number. It's been active for the past 11 years. She's been filing taxes, using credit cards. She has a driver's license issued in Nevada. Nevada? Chen pulled up a photo on her computer. A woman. Mid-40s. Blonde hair. Sunglasses. Standing on a beach somewhere tropical. This is Rebecca Morgan. Photo from her Facebook profile. Posted 3 months ago. Clara stared at the screen. Emily's mother is alive? And living in Las Vegas with a new identity. She changed her name legally 7 years ago. She's now Rebecca Solis. Does Emily know? No. And we need to tell her carefully. Why would Derek tell Emily her mother was dead? Chen looked at Clara with something like pity. Because if Emily knew her mother was alive and chose to leave her, that's a wound that never heals. But if her mother died, that's tragic, but it's no one's fault. So Derek has been lying about everything. Not just lying, orchestrating. This wasn't impulsive, this was planned. Rebecca abandoned Emily, and Derek used that abandonment to create a narrative where he was the hero and everyone else was the villain. But why? I think I know. Chen pulled up another document. Rebecca had a life insurance policy. $500,000. Derek was the beneficiary. If she'd died, he would have received it. But she didn't die, right? So he couldn't collect. But he could do the next best thing. Make everyone think she was dead, take full custody of Emily, and use that custody to extort money from Michael. Clara felt sick. He's been running a scam for 11 years. A very profitable one. But why keep Emily? If this was just about money, why not let Michael take her? Chen's expression darkened. Because Emily was leveraged. As long as he had her, he had power over Michael. And as long as Michael believed Derek might disappear with her, he'd keep paying. That's evil. That's extortion, fraud, emotional abuse, kidnapping, arguably, since he has no legal right to custody. What happens now? Now, we arrested him, and we call Rebecca. They found Rebecca Solis at a casino in Las Vegas. She was working as a cocktail waitress under her new name. When Detective Chen called her and said, "This is about your daughter Emily," Rebecca hung up. Chen called back, "Miss Solis, if you hang up again, I'll have Las Vegas PD come to your workplace and arrest you for child abandonment. Talk to me now, or talk to them in handcuffs." Rebecca got on the phone. "What do you want?" "I want to know why you left your 6-year-old daughter with a man who isn't her father and never looked back." Silence. "Miss Solis, I was drowning. Okay? I had postpartum depression that never went away. I was using pills. Michael left me because I was a mess." Derek seemed stable. "I thought Emily would be better off with him. Better off without her mother? Better off without me. I wasn't. I'm not mother material. So you faked your death?" "I didn't fake anything. Derek told me to disappear. He said if I stayed gone, he'd take care of Emily. He said it would be easier for her to think I was dead than to know I abandoned her." "And you believed him?" "I wanted to believe him. Because the alternative was admitting I was a terrible mother who chose drugs and slot machines over her own kid." Chen let that sit. Then, "Did you know Derek was extorting Michael Hendricks?" "What?" "Did you know Derek was taking money from Emily's biological father in exchange for not disappearing with her?" "No." "Jesus, no." "Did you know Emily has been psychologically abused for the past decade?" Rebecca's voice cracked. Is she? Is she okay?" "She's alive. That's about all I can say. I want to talk to her." "No. I'm her mother. You gave up that right when you walked away. Emily doesn't know you're alive yet. And when she finds out, it's going to destroy her all over again. So no. You don't get to talk to her. Not now. Maybe not ever." Chen hung up, and she walked back to the interview room where Emily and Michael were waiting. "Emily," Chen said gently, "I need to tell you something. And it's going to be hard to hear." Emily looked up. "What? Your mother didn't die?" Emily blinked. "What? She's alive. She's been living in Las Vegas for the past 11 years under a new name." Emily's face went blank. "That's not possible. I have her tax records, her driver's license. She's alive, Emily." Emily looked at Michael. "Did you know?" "No, sweetheart. I thought she died too." Emily stood up, her hands shaking. "Where is she?" "In Las Vegas. I want to talk to her." "Emily, I want to talk to her. Now." Detective Chen looked at Michael. He nodded slowly. "It's her choice." Chen made the call. "Put it on speaker." Rebecca answered on the first ring. "Hello? Mom?" The word hung in the air like a grenade. Rebecca started crying. "Emily. Oh my God. Emily. I'm so sorry. Why did you leave me? I was sick. I was broken. I couldn't be the mother you needed. So you let me think you were dead? For 10 years? It was supposed to be easier for you." "Easier?" Emily's voice cracked. "You know what would have been easier? Knowing my mother was alive somewhere and just didn't want me. Because at least then I wouldn't have spent 10 years grieving someone who was just living her life in Vegas." "Emily, please, did you ever think about me? Even once?" Silence. Then quietly, "Every single day. But not enough to come back. I'm not strong like you. I never was." Emily wiped her eyes. "You're right. You're not." And she hung up. She turned to Michael. "Can we leave now? I don't want to be in this building anymore." "Where do you want to go?" "Anywhere but here." 6 months later, Clara sat in a coffee shop in Oklahoma City. She'd driven 3 hours to get here. Left Wichita Falls behind, along with the house, the memories, and the life she'd built with a man who turned out to be a stranger. Across from her sat Emily. But Emily looked different now. Her hair was shorter. Her smile was real. Her eyes didn't carry that haunted look anymore. She was living with Michael and his wife Sarah. She had 2 younger half-siblings, a brother and sister who thought she hung the moon. She was in therapy twice a week. She'd testified against Derek in court 3 months ago. The recordings had been played for the judge, every single one. Derek was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for wire fraud, extortion, custodial interference, financial exploitation of a minor, emotional abuse, Michael was awarded full custody retroactively. Every penny of the extortion money was returned to him, and Emily was granted access to the child support account. Derek had hidden $252,000 plus interest. It was enough to pay for college, and therapy, and a new start. "How are you?" Clara asked. "Good," Emily said. "Really good. I mean, some days are hard. But I'm not. I'm not that scared girl anymore. You were never that girl. You were always strong. You just couldn't show it." Emily smiled. "Sarah, Michael's wife, she says the same thing. Do you like her?" "I love her. She's what a mom should be. Patient. Kind. She doesn't try to replace the mom I never really had. She just shows up. And your siblings? They're amazing. Noah, he's 8, he follows me everywhere. And Lily, she's 5, she wants to do everything I do. It's like having a family for the first time." Clara felt tears prick her eyes. "I'm so happy for you." "What about you?" Emily asked. "How are you doing?" Clara laughed a bitter sound. "I'm divorced. Living in a rental, starting over at 38. Dating again is terrifying. But you know what? I'm okay." "Do you hate him, Derek?" Clara thought about it. "No. I pity him. He had everything he could have wanted, a daughter who would have loved him if he'd just let her. But he was so broken, so controlling, so desperate for power. He destroyed it all. He wrote me from prison," Emily said quietly. 3 times. Long letters. Apologizing. Explaining. Justifying. Did you read them?" "The first one." "Then I stopped." "What did it say?" "That he loved me. That he did what he thought was best. That I'll understand when I'm older." Emily shook her head. "But I already understand. He didn't love me. He loved owning me." Clara reached across the table and took Emily's hand. "You deserved so much better. I know. But I got better eventually. That's what matters." They talked for another hour. About Emily's plans, college applications, therapy progress, her relationship with Michael. About Clara's plans, a new job, a new city, maybe grad school. And when they hugged goodbye, Clara felt something she hadn't felt in years. Peace. Because Emily was finally free. And so was she. Emily's story isn't just about one girl who was brave enough to hit record. It's about what happens when someone sees you, really sees you, and believes you. For 10 years, Emily lived in a prison that looked like a home. She was told she was troubled, broken, and ungrateful. She was told her father didn't want her and her mother was dead. She was told that love looked like control. But Emily knew the truth, and she spent 3 years gathering the evidence to prove it. Pause. If you're Emily, if you're living in a situation where you feel controlled, monitored, isolated, or trapped, please know this. You're not crazy. You're not broken. And you're not alone. Document everything. Tell someone. Reach out. There are people who will believe you, who will fight for you, who will help you get free. And if you're Clara, if you're seeing signs that something is wrong but you're afraid to look closer, please look anyway. Sometimes, the person who needs saving isn't the one everyone thinks is the problem. Sometimes it's the quiet one, the compliant one, the one who's been screaming silently for years. Final beat. Emily lost 10 years. But she has the rest of her life ahead of her. And that's because she did something incredibly brave. She stopped waiting for someone to save her. And she saved herself. Pause. Let it land. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please share it. Someone out there needs to hear it. And remember, love doesn't control. Love doesn't manipulate. Love doesn't cage. Love sets free. We'll see you in the next one.